There will be a planetary alignment of 6 planets in the sky the day after Trump is inaugurated, Michael Snyder reports. It's just a coincidence? Is it a coincidence there will be a major planetary alignment, January 21st? Just as Donald Trump returns to the White House, Venus, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune will be aligned in the sky. This planetary alignment of 6 planets will occur the day after the 60th presidential inauguration in our history takes place. Of course, there are many people out there that believe that the positioning of celestial objects is completely coincidental and could never possibly mean anything. But in Luke chapter 21, Jesus specifically warned us that there would be signs in the sun and in the moon and in the stars during the times just before his return. And without a doubt, there certainly have been a lot of very unusual signs in the sky in recent years. Could it be possible that this is yet another sign in the sky that should be getting our attention? I don't have all the answers, but hopefully I am asking some of the right questions. Is it being reported that 6 planets will be aligning in the sky January 21st? The next planetary alignment will take place January 21st, 2025. In the evening, just after sunset, 6 planets, Mars, Jupiter, Uranus, Neptune, Venus, and Saturn, will align in the sky. 4 of these planets, Mars, Jupiter, Venus, and Saturn, will be easily visible to our naked eye. You'll need a telescope or higher power binoculars to see Neptune and Uranus. I was stunned when I first heard about this, but that is not the end of the story. Throughout the rest of this month and all of next month, all 6 planets will be visible in the sky. Then on February 28th, the 7th planet Mercury will join this parade of planets. In January and February, we can witness this event taking place. The planets are not exactly lined up, so they will appear in an arc across the sky due to their orbital plane in the solar system. During clear nights in January and February, all of the planets except Mercury will be visible, an event sometimes called the Planetary Parade. On 28th of February, though, weather permitting, all 7 planets will be visible, a great spectacle for observers on the ground. There is something special about looking at the planets with our own eyes, says Jennifer Millard, a science communicator and astronomer at Fifth Star Labs in the UK. Yes, you can go on Google and get a more spectacular view of all these planets, but when you're looking at these objects, these are photons that have traveled millions or billions of miles through space to hit your retinas. Including Earth, there are only 8 planets in our solar system. So all of the other 7 planets will be visible once we get to February 28th. A planetary parade that includes all 7 of the other planets in our solar system is a very rare event, and I have no idea why this is not making more news. But even if there were no signs in the sky at all, I would still be entirely convinced that the inauguration of Donald Trump is a pivotal moment in our history. Our world is about to dramatically change and nothing will ever be the same after this. Of course, there is always a lot of optimism whenever a presidential inauguration happens, and a CNN poll has found that 56% of Americans anticipate that Trump will do a good job. President-elect Donald Trump will enter his 2nd term in the White House, with a majority of Americans both expecting him to do well and satisfied with the way he's handling the transition into public office, according to a new poll. A CNN survey released Thursday found 56% of Americans expect Trump to do a good job as the 47th president, up from 48% after his 2016 election win. The poll also found 55% approved of the way the president-elect has handled his 2nd transition, far higher than the 40% approval number he received 8 years ago. Needless to say, many on the left do not share this optimism. Time magazine is suggesting that those that are coping with grief on Inauguration Day should be considering getting together with others for a good cry. It might seem counterintuitive, but if you need to shed a few tears on Inauguration Day, It's healthy to let them out with one caveat: you shouldn't do it alone. The grace and speed with which somebody recovers from grief, if they have an opportunity to cry with the support of another person, someone who they trust and who they believe cares about them, is orders of magnitude improved, Simon Thomas says. While research suggests crying alone is not overly helpful, crying around others often leads to comfort, support, empathy, and stronger social bonds. It's really, really beneficial to have that emotion in an honest, authentic way and to reap the benefits we're endowed with interpersonally. Seriously? Time magazine used to be respected around the world decades ago, but now it has become a sad joke. Trump's team plans to hit the ground running January 20th, and we're being told that Trump will be signing more than 100 executive orders right away. Shock and awe. Senator John Barrasso, Republican from Wyoming, recently predicted after Republican members of Congress received a preview of the activity to come. Convinced he has an election mandate from American voters, Trump is planning to surpass the century mark in executive actions over his first few days of office after getting sworn in as the 47th president on Monday, a moment he's called a liberation day for America. There will be over 100 executive actions, commands to the bureaucracies and change their ways. Stephen Miller, Trump's incoming Deputy Chief of Staff for Policy, told Fox News last week. Yes, it really will be shock and awe, and there will be much weeping and gnashing of teeth on the left. But this is just the beginning. As I discussed in a previous article, there are at least 5 historic emergencies that Trump will be faced with once he enters the White House. The decisions that Trump makes over the next couple of months will have a major impact on the trajectory of global events. Meanwhile, the positioning of the planets in the night sky will be clearly pointing to the fact that something truly unusual is taking place. This is by Michael Snyder on End of the American Dream. Please leave your comments and thank you for your support. This is by Michael Snyder and about the author. Michael Snyder's new book entitled Why is available on paperback and for Kindle on Amazon. He's also written 8 other books that are available on Amazon, including Chaos, End Times, 70 Apocalypse, Lost Prophecies of the Future of America, The Beginning of the End, and A Living Life That Really Matters. When you purchase any of Michael's books, you help to support the work that he's doing. You can also get his articles by email as soon as he publishes them by subscribing to his Substack newsletter. Michael has published thousands of articles on the Economic Collapse blog, End of the American Dream, and the Most Important News, and he's always freely and happily allowed others to republish those articles on their own websites. These are such troubled times and people need hope. John 3:16 tells us about the hope that God has given us through Jesus Christ. For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whosoever believeth in him should not perish but have everlasting life. If you have not already done so, we strongly urge you to invite Jesus Christ to be your Lord and Savior today. Please support my Patreon account. The daily posts are 5 videos daily, and they are totally different from what I have on my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for your support and that you find all my content so interesting. You'll find the Patreon account details in the description box below.